All right, so we all got that one coworker that's just that's just what's the word I'm looking for? I can't find the word, but help me out in the comments below. Just put the word fill in the blank for me. We all got that one coworker that's just blank. And when I mean blank, they won't take out their bins, they won't do catheter packs, they won't do needle packs, they won't update vitals, even they won't even update your vitals if you go on break. I'm talking about they won't do anything. Acid, what acid? They're not making any acid. They're not doing anything. We all have that one coworker that we work with or are currently working with that's like that. Here's some things that you could do. And I said could do because every situation is different, every clinic's different, everybody's different. So here's some things that you can do, could do to help out with that. Step number one, you want to approach them with professionalism and care. It's a colleague and a coworker. Yes, what they do gets you frustrated. It can even get your other teammates frustrated, but we don't want to get personal with them. Okay? Don't attack their character and never have this conversation with them when you are angry. You want to keep cool heads. All right? Be chill about it. Don't get angry. Don't get out of your character. Okay? Don't let them bring you out of your character. All right? You want to let them know that their work habits is affecting the team, it's affecting the patients, and it's affecting everyone to be able to do their job properly. Especially if they're the type to come in 30 minutes late, or they're the type of person to call out 1 hour before their shift, and it leaves everybody else to set up their machines and to take over their pods. Shoot, worst case scenario, what if you was scheduled to leave first? Now that person not coming, everybody gets bumped down. Nobody likes a situation like that. You have to remember their behavior may be triggered by many other reasons. They might have a lot of things going on outside of work and can't deal with that, and it's affecting their work habits. So we have to empathize with them. That leads me to step number two, empathize with them. Sometimes you got to try to put yourself in their shoes. If they're going through something and they decide to share it with the team, cool. If they're going through something and they don't want to share it with the team, that's fine too, because that's not our business. We don't have to automatically be privy to everybody else's business. That's not our business. But what we could have for them is patience, all right? And what they could have for us is communicate. If you are going through something at work, communicate with your teammates. And when I mean communicate, like if you know, okay, you're going to be running late because of a certain situation that's happening at home, let a teammate know. Okay, that way, okay, so and so's gonna be running late. I know we need to. I know that I can pitch in to help set up their machines, or we may need to bring in a couple of their patients in because they're gonna be running late. Or if you know that you're not gonna make it to work on time the next day, then call the FA that day. Don't call 1 hour before because it's kind of hard to find somebody to replace you at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. So if you give the FA enough time, if you give your teammates enough time by communicating, we can properly plan the day so we can still run efficiently and get all these patients in for their treatments. Step number three, do not become distracted from achieving your goals. Always remember you are not the clinical manager. Always remember that you are not the facility administrator. That is not your job type. You probably done step one and you probably done step two. Do not waste your time thinking if the conversation or the advice was well received. Some cases, it probably wasn't. If that tech is really lazy or really bad or someone who really doesn't care about their job, they don't give two bags of sardine of what you had to say. Your advice went in through one ear and it came out the other ear. Do not let their behavior or their energy affect you. Don't let that situation distract you from the important things in your work life. Invest your time in focusing on your priorities with a clear head. You'll know that you did the best that you could. You did the best that you could. Remember that. Step number four, think before you attack. Think before you act. Think before you act. Not attack. Not attack. If you get to the point where you're thinking about attacking, hey, you too far gone. That situation is really, really bad. If you're thinking about attacking another teammate, that situation is really, really bad. Before you do anything, you always have to ask yourself, how do I want to be perceived by my team? How do I want to be perceived by the patients, and how do I want to be perceived by the career in general? Because you got to remember, the dialysis world is really, really small, like very, very small. Sometimes you find yourself working with one nurse or a technician at one clinic, and the next thing you know, he or she is at another clinic working for a whole nother company that you thinking about applying for. Now, picture if you was a horrible technician and you went in for that job interview, and that person who's interviewing you is the person that you messed over, or was someone that witnessed you doing something really bad at your previous job. You think you getting that job? Especially if they're going through resumes and they're like, oh, I know this person. I know Jerry. I remember when Jerry drop kicked somebody in the break room. I remember when Lucy beat up that girl in the parking lot. The dialysis world is small. Anything and everything you do will be remembered by your teammates, the patients, corporate, okay, even transportation drivers. They get familiar and they remember the technicians that work at the clinic. Step number 5, like I mentioned before, you are not the FA, you are not the clinical manager. So go speak to yours regarding this coworker, especially if their actions may be causing patient harm or harm to other teammates. If you feel like your FA or clinical manager is on the same time as the trouble technician, reach out to their boss instead. Reach out to the company's HR or the company's employee line. Remember, whoever you talk to, whatever direction you decide to go, be professional and do not be petty. Make your points about the success of the team and the safety of the patients.